A very good morning, Level 7A, and welcome back to our online learning program. How are you doing this morning? Well, I hope everybody is doing well. Right. Have you done your homework? Good. I'm glad. So please make sure that you've done your homework and you send it to me through personal telegram so I can have a look at them. And also a reminder, some of you still haven't sent me your homework from the weekend yet. I have so far received only 3 to 4 students. Please make sure that you send all your homework to me as soon as possible from the weekend. Okay? Alright, so what day are we on today? That's right, today we're into a new month. Today we're on Tuesday, September 1st, 2020. Right, so for session 1 today, we're going to be covering up Speaking Tutor 1A. Right? For today's class, we're going to be looking at dialogue helping out on page 113. Today, in our class session, we're going to be looking at completing the exercises, we're going to listen to track 23, and we're going to do some comprehension check. Alright, but before we go there, let's do a quick lesson review on what we've done so far. Alright, do you remember what we've done so far in our lesson, last lesson from Speaking Tutor 1A last week? That's right. Last week we did a lesson 3. Okay, so we started lesson 3. We did some dialogue and practice, helping out. Okay, some warm-up exercise. We did some vocabulary preview. So the vocabulary such as recycle, plant trees, don't use plastic bags, use less water, pick up trash, walk places. And then there's another one. In our vocabulary preview checklist, we have air conditioner, dirty, solar panels, sweaty, doorbell, and energy. And we also did some definitions along with it as well. Do you remember that too, right? Great. So for today's lesson, we're going to be looking at dialogue helping out. Okay? What you need to do for this exercise, we're going to listen to track 23 before we go on, okay? So, let's listen to track 23. Now, listen.
Dialogue, helping out.
I'll get it. Hey, Nina.
Hi, John. Wow, you're all dirty. What were you doing when I rang the doorbell?
I was planting some trees in our backyard.
Can I help?
That would be great.
So, why are you planting all of these trees?
I want to do my part to help save the environment.
That's cool. Trees help clean the air.
Exactly. Plus, I love gardening. Next weekend, I'm going to plant a bunch of flowers.
Ooh, can I help with that too?
Yeah, of course.
Good. I hope you already listened to track 23. Now what we're going to do, we're going to look at the vocabulary checklist. Let's look at it because today we're going to be doing 11 words. Today the words are 1. Environment, 2. Flowers, 3. Doorbell, 4. Backyard, 5. Ding dong, 6. Plant or planting, 7. Dirty, 8. Help, 9. Safe, 10. Gardening, 11. Weekend. Okay, so these are all the vocabulary that I've took from Speaking Tutor 1A in our today's class lesson, right? As you notice that I'm not putting any definitions in it because I want you to put your definitions in it, the definitions in them, okay? So it will be part of your classwork or part of your homework, all right? Good. And what we can do with this vocabulary, you can actually try to read the vocabulary to yourself, repeat the vocabulary to yourself so that you can get a better grasp, a better concept, ideas of what each word sounds like, okay? So let's start again. Environment, environment. Flowers, flowers. Doorbell, doorbell. Backyard, backyard. Ding dong, ding dong. Plant or planting, dirty, dirty, help, help, safe, safe, gardening, gardening, weekend, weekend. Alright, so let's have a look at the comprehension check. Now after you listen to track 23, you need to listen to track 23 again, okay? So in order to complete this, you need to listen to track 23 again and try to answer the questions that's given at the bottom of the page. This can either be done part of your classwork or homework, okay? So let's have a look at the comprehension checklist. Number 1, what is the ding-dong noise from? And number 2, what are they going to do next weekend? Okay, as you can see in the conversation above, what you need to do, you need to listen to the conversation, you need to listen to the track 23 and put the words in the blanks using the words from the box. Okay, so that should be very simple and very easy. This one can also be done for part of your classwork or part of your homework. Alright? Okay, so that's all I have for you for Speaking Tutor 1A. I will see you in a second for session 2. Alright? That's now the end of session 1. See you in a bit. Goodbye. Alright, welcome back to session 2. Now for session 2 today, we're going to be looking at blueprint 2. Now, for blueprint 2 today, we're going to be looking at grammar, present continuous, in question and in information questions. We're also going to be looking at grammar practice, read to speak, and use the language on page 55. Okay, but before we go out to our today's lesson, let's have a quick lesson preview on what we've done so far. Alright, so far, do you remember what we've done so far in our blueprint 2, everyone? Right, so in our blueprint 2 so far, we started lesson 4, courses and electives. Remember, what are courses and what is electives? Alright, you also did some model conversation. You had to listen to track 21. We also did vocabulary and definitions. And we did the last exercise in your world, completing the exercises, right? So do you remember what is courses and electives? Right. That's good. I'm glad you remember all that. And with the vocabulary, let's have a quick reminder ourselves of what the words were. All right. Keep up, topic, industry, agriculture, historical, presentation, elective, assignment, and courses. Right? So these were the words that you were asked to put into definitions, right? And also you were asked to repeat the words as well, remember? Good. And also, remember we were doing, think about one of your academic goals, for example, to learn about other languages or improve your grades in subject, right? What you need to do, you need to fill in the tables below, then discuss with the partner. But since you don't have a partner, that's okay, you don't need to discuss with the partner, right? Okay, good, great. So that's page 54. Now for today's class, we're going to be looking at page 55. Now, let's remind ourselves of what is present continuous. Do you remember what is present continuous? Right, so we use present continuous to talk about something that is happening right now. We also use it to talk about something that is currently and temporarily happens, right? Present continuous sentences often use expressions about a recent or current time. Okay, so we've done all that too. And that was pretty easy for you, right? All right, please have a look at the top of page 55. Today, we're going to be looking at grammar, present continuous in information questions. Okay? All right. So with the information questions of W, wash, okay? So W and H, we need a WH word, okay? Plus be form, plus subject, plus verb, ends with IN, ING. All right? So the question, let's have a look at the table together. So we have the questions, we have short answers, we have long answers. Okay? So the questions, let's do a look at the questions first. Where are we going? Where are we going? So we have where, WH word form, and then we have are, okay, is the be form. Subject, we, go, it's a verb ending with ing. The next one, what classes is he taking? What classes is he taking? All right, so we have what, WH, what, are, be form, you, subject, do is the verb ending with ing. We also have why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Okay, then we've got WH, why, are, be, plus you, subject, plus verb, leave, ends with ing. Okay? Now the short answer forms for these questions would be, where are we going? The short answer would be to the food court. So when you answer short answers, you don't need to say we or okay. So we can just say short answers to the food court. What classes is he taking? As short answers, history and economics. Okay. How are you doing in the class? Short answers would be all right. Then the next one would be, why are you leaving? Well, short answers would be because I have a class now. Okay, then now we're going to form the long answers. Okay, so the long answers would be, hey, where are we going? Okay, we're going to the food court. We're going to the food court. Okay, what classes is he taking? She, what classes? Okay, he's taking history and economics. That should not be she, it should be he. How are you doing in the class? I'm doing all right. Okay, we have all right. Why are you leaving? Well, the long answers would be, I'm leaving because I have a class now. Okay, so that's the long answers. So we have at the end of the last one, we have a reason. The reason he's leaving because you have to go to class. All right. Now there's another one would be subject questions with who plus a be form plus a verb ends with ing. Okay. So for example, who's teaching that class? Who, we have who, who's, be form. Teach is the verb ending with ing, right? So teaching that class. Who's teaching that class? Professor William is. That's the short answers form. And the long answers would be, Professor William is teaching it. Okay? So notice how when it becomes long answers, we have Professor Williams is teaching it. Okay? Then we in the shorter answers would be, Professor William is. Okay? So the questions would be, who's teaching the class? Right? Okay, so again, in the question information questions, we need WH word plus be subject plus be plus subject plus verb ends with ing. In the subject question, this is a subject questions. So subject questions interferes with a person, okay? So an information question is asking where, how, what, why, okay? As you can see in the top line. All right, so the subject questions involve who, okay? So who is particularly looking for a person's name? Who's teaching that class? Professor Williams is, or Professor Williams is teaching it in long answers. Right? Good. Now let's have a look at our grammar practice exercise. Write the beginning of each question below, looking the correct form of be. One question is a yes, no question. Others use a word from the box below. Okay? So what you need to do here, you need to write the beginning of each question below. Okay? So with, what, who, when, where, how, why. Right? Okay? This one can be done part of your homework or your classwork. It depends how I feel. All right, the next one is read to speak exercise. what you need to do, you need to prepare to discuss some current event with your classmates. I know you don't have a classmate because you're at home. So what we need to do here, we need to prepare to discuss some current event with me. All right? Research a few news stories about things that are happening in the world and think of events at your school or in your city too. Copy the headlines of some news stories about these events below. Okay, so what it is basically you need to go and do a research of what is happening around the world right now. Okay, so what's happening around the world right now is we're still on the news with COVID-19, right? So COVID-19 is still bombarding the world, killing a lot of people around the world. Okay, especially in India. There's a lot of people in India been killed because of COVID-19. Right? So what you need to do, you need to think of the events that happens in our country too, okay? So what you need to do is you need to copy the headline of some news stories about this event below. So for example, have you heard about the fire last night in Battambang, the old market? Yeah, that was one of the old history market. The fire went out last night for a couple of hours. So that could be the headline of some news story. Fire caused Battambang old market, destroyed Battambang's old market or something. Okay, so that can be decided later. It's up to you how you. Everybody sees the stories. Everybody read the stories and have news stories differently. Everybody should have different answers for these ones. Yeah. If you don't understand this part, please ask me personally, okay? Because sometimes it's hard to try to explain to you all in video, okay? The last exercise is use the language. Now, what's going on? Now, what you need to talk with other students. I know you don't have this. Talk about what is happening in your school, your community, and your country, okay? And ask and answer follow-up questions to get more details. You can follow this with a further discussion of what's going on internationally, okay? So what you're going to do, you need to talk about what is happening either in the school, in the community, or in the country, okay? So, like for example, maybe you could do some writes-up about what's going to happen in our school. Is our school going to be open? So you can ask questions, right? So when is the school going to be open? How long will it take until it open? Okay, so these are the type of questions that you can ask, or you can choose your own topic. Like you can, if you don't want to write about school, you can write about community. Community means around you, around the area you live in, or your country. Okay, so or talk about the country itself. Okay. So what's happening in Cambodia right now? What is the most important thing, or what is the news that is happening right now in Cambodia that everybody should know, okay? Which some people haven't or they don't know, right? Good. All right. Please make sure that if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Again, I just would like to remind you that some of you still haven't sent me your homework from the weekend. So please make sure that you send me your homework from the weekend to my personal, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to mark that as 0, right? Okay, so thank you everyone for participating in our online learning program. All right, don't forget to do your homework and classwork and send it to me when it's done, okay? Goodbye all and have a great day ahead. See you tomorrow in my next video. Goodbye. Bye-bye for now.